Remember the Junkies Poker Open? It's back at the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa in Atlantic City. It's Thursday, November 6th. You can register right now at junkiespokeropen.com. It's brought to you by Potomac Metals. Get in the mix. We want to see you in AC in just a few short weeks. And we're hoping to be joined shortly by Joe Rogan, who will be in town for his gig at the Warner Theater Saturday, October 18th.
Oh, I got to remind people you can listen to a brand new episode of Big Fat Winners Radio today, probably sometime after lunch, around 12 or 1.
Around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yep.
Also, we have our own section on iTunes, Big Fat Winners on iTunes. And if you go to 1067thefan.dc.com/BigFatWinners, you can stream it there or load it on your Android device.
Very cool. How do you think the show's going? Like, are you starting to come into your own? Is it getting smoother?
Well, it was smooth from the start.
So it was silly from day one.
I'm the host.
How's Valdez do?
He's hot as a freaking firecracker.
No, but I think JP means like as a
like my
broadcaster.
His broadcasting skills are nubby.
Yeah, right.
But that's okay.
Right,
It
you'll
works.
carry it. That's fine.
It works. But the fact is, I believe he's 8-1-1 in the last 2 weeks.
So you guys collectively are
we call it the
basically
Power 5 segment. I know you haven't listened. It's called the Power 5.
Well, I know
we
you're
5
1-4 in the Power 5 2 weeks in a row.
2-8, yeah. I would
So you
I would
guys are
fade me.
500.
You should be the Power 1.
I would fade me. I would fade me now. My score, I can't pick my nose.
Have you lost your confidence?
No, I feel good about the picks. I mean, you got to get a little luck, too.
It's
Now,
good to
you-
have a smooth broadcaster paired with a stammerer
Here's
over there.
what I've learned,
Oh,
though.
he does stammer, too. Sometimes we got to go back. He's got to edit out the stammers.
One reason
funny.
why I think Valdez might have a little bit of an edge over you is he does like to back it up with some research and stats
Well,
and
so
stuff.
does Jason.
Yeah, I do, too. Believe me.
Jason, trust me, Jason's not looking at the board
You think I
and
just
throwing
picked
darts.
5 games? I go, all right, I like UVA.
You watch the teams, you know the teams, but I feel like you go a little bit more with tingles than you do with I feel like you need formulas.
That may be true. I don't know what formula he uses, but that may be
I know
true.
in basketball he's big on all of that
Here's
stuff.
the deal, and this is what's funny about it, and this is honest God truth. Before the podcast started, I was actually hot.
Yeah.
I was.
And then as soon-
And then as soon as the podcast started, boom, 1-4, 1-4.
Right.
That's okay. I'll get hot again.
But you know what? As long as you give the information,
Yeah.
It's up to people to take it and do what they
You
want.
can say, all right, I like the information, but he's been cold. I'm going to go against him.
like a
fade
couple
him.
weeks ago, for example, during Friday Morning Fatties, and collectively as a show on Fridays when we do our Fatties, we've been doing pretty good. I think we're like 25-16. It's up on the Junkies Facebook page. It's a pretty impressive record. But a couple weeks ago, you gave a lot of information as to your ECU pick.
Mhm.
Made a lot of sense. Just didn't hit.
Didn't it? Well, one of them hit. The over hit.
I feel like the only way, we know the guy that, God, what's his name? Remind me, Valdez, that's bet totals in basketball for years. He's the poker player, Haralabas.
Yes.
And he had this logarithm or whatever, algorithm, and he set up this whole formula, and he's just been killing it. And there are guys that have done this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we read the article even about the guy that's even doing it with the daily fantasy leagues. They came up with this algorithm. They paid a bunch of MIT guys to come up with this formula, and he's killing the daily fantasy
I haven't
leagues.
come up with my own algorithm
feel
for
like-
DraftKings yet.
I feel like if you don't have an algorithm, it's really hard to do.
Well, I mean, come on.
gambling.
I'm no math whiz. I'm certainly not going to have an algorithm.
Let's skill,
Here's what I told
JP.
Valdez.
I pick my games based on
his
the
is
teams
gambling.
I watch.
His is gambling. We're doing games of skill.
I'm not a handicapper. I'm just a donk that just likes to throw cash.
I understand. But I feel like we should pool our money together and get some nerd from MIT to come up with some sort of algorithm to help us. We need an edge. There are guys that are doing it.
How much would he charge us for said algorithm?
The guy that's doing it on the daily fantasy leagues gave some donk like $400. Came up with some algorithm.
I'll give somebody $400
Exactly.
right now.
And then they're constantly tweaking it.
Let me
but-
just say this. There are bigger and better things on the horizon for Big Fat Winners Radio.
Oh, this is just the beginning.
I'm going to keep it there for now. Valdez, is that fair?
A lot of irons in the fire.
Oh,
Is that fair to say that?
Some new
Can't
sponsors
really
jumping on board.
Can't really go forward with it yet, but,
nice
Correct.
tease.
There's a buzz in the community.
there is a buzz.
Huge buzz.
Not just in the community, nationwide.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
big out in Vegas.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you tell that you're getting a ton of hits?
Oh yeah, we also we read the emails at bigfatwinners@gmail.com.
I mean, how could you not like a show that has Matt Valdez
I mean,
as a
you have
co-host?
to.
And,
You got to wrap your arms
You know,
around
I mean,
it.
we have people emailing from Chicago, LA, Tampa,
Right.
people who are
Well,
in
you can-
Vegas.
You can can't you geotag those? Like you can check those things. They have those maps.
I'm sure you can. I just don't know what you're
I used
talking
to do
about.
that on my old podcast, my mediocre radio, and I could see where where all the hits were. You'd have people listening from Japan, Korea, whatever. You'd be
Right.
amazed. You probably have a ton of little red arrows over there in Vegas.
Hmm.
You should check.
So anyway, it's a brand new episode today, sometime after 12.
And your special guest was Thompson or Thompson?
Ken Thompson.
There you go.
Thompson.
Ken Thompson, who hit 14 straight picks.
16-6 in college football this year.
16-6 in college football, but he hit 14 straight plays 2 years ago. Do you understand how absurd that is? To hit 14 straight? Well, he did it.
Do you have a...
Is Skippy still part of the show?
Yep, Skippy.
Skippy,
He
how's
also
he
had a
doing?
bad week. He
did.
was 1-4.
Shocker. Skippy also goes by, just watches the games.
He
and
goes
just
by Tingle.
Tingle.
Yeah.
I always evaluate you as a handicapper. If you're going by Tingles, I don't.
Yeah.
And that's how I
don't
go.
really trust you.
I'm a Tingle guy.
Again, he's not a handicapper, and neither am I.
I know, but I feel like at least
If I was doing it
Valdez
if I was doing it for a living, I would probably have some sort of a formula.
right? Valdez in basketball, I know you have a formula. Like you use Ken Palms, you use his efficiency ratings or whatever they
Yes.
are. Are you doing that with football? No, not so much.
Football is more of situational stuff.
He likes
Like-
he likes traps. He likes sandwich plays.
See, I don't like that.
He likes all that nonsense.
That's in the Tingle
He knows
category.
nothing about sandwiches.
No, but-
he eats the same sandwich every day of his
But
life.
it hits. It's been hitting
Okay,
last
but
couple
a
weeks.
trap thing, that's just such bogus
It's a trap
gambler
game.
talk.
It's what-
That's Tingle talk.
This one has trap written all over it.
That's a silly podcast title. Tingle Talk.
a trap. This is a trap game.
You know what?
That's Tingle talk.
In addition to the Power 5 segment where we pick our best 5 games of the weekend,
Yeah.
let's have our Tingle play of the weekend.
You know
have
what?
a tingle.
That's a longer podcast. That's the only problem
Does
there.
that
I
one-
like that.
We can add a segment, the Tingle play of
Your
the week.
Tingle of the week.
Our podcast is going to be 2 hours now.
Yeah, it is.
You-
Hey, he said
It went
bigger,
from-
better things are on the
Hey,
way.
it went from an hour and 15 to an hour and 10 the second week.
That's not bad.
It was probably 2 hours before Valdez took out all his stumbles.
well, listen, why don't you just do it for 20 minutes? We don't need to do all that.
It's too fun.
Oh, you like it.
I do.
Just passion.
Valdez,
Yeah, that is his passion.
How many-
That is his passion.
Valdez, how many times have we said to each other, all right, let's make this a 50-minute podcast this week?
Sort of down to business.
All right?
We've only done 2.
So I'm saying
No,
we've
3.
said this to each other a few times. Let's make it a
It's in
50-minute
the
podcast.
infancy stage.
Once we get started,
Once the
we
lights
just
go
lo-
on,
we just lose track
it's
of time.
impossible. I can't just talk about these games for
you
5
guys
minutes.
go into the zone. That's what happens. You're like Jordan against the Blazers.
Look, you got to remember, we're not talking NFL.
Can you play some clips? Do you have any nearby?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I have it on my scan disc thing, so
Oh
I got.
my God! You got to have that prepared.
Hey, seriously, this is not an NFL podcast where there's only 16 games.
Yeah.
There's 65 games.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to go through all of them.
We do. How many good games are there? There's 65 good games if you're a gambler.
Right, because you bet on every single one
So
of them.
hold on.
Right.
You're going through the whole board,
Well, no, not the whole board. But
Pretty
even if
close.
you take 20
like
or 25.
Ivy League games. Are you going through the Ivy League games?
No.
No.
Even if you take 20 or 25 games per week, just think about how long that
It's
takes.
still a lot.
Right?
Well,
That-
you're really going through them.
And when do you get to the Power 5?
That's
Is that
at the end of the show.
That's at the end
By
of
the
the
way,
show.
You gotta go
don't
through
let
the whole
Jason.
show?
Don't
Yeah.
let Jason fool you. By the way, we broke down UMass Kent State last
Yeah, of
week.
course. No, I believe they were 0-11 combined
What did you like?
coming into that
what
game.
did you like? I want to hear what your factors were going in.
Skip. We brought up UMass Kent because it was one of Skippy's picks.
All right, why did
And it
Skippy
was-
like that?
Because
because
there are two losers involved.
Look, they're both have bad records, but UMass is a better team than Kent. They just can score,
Uh-huh.
and it was a pick'em game, and UMass went to Kent and housed them.
When
All
you
right?
talk
But that's
about,
why we talked
Was
about
when
it.
Marcus
you talk
Camby
about-
playing?
Yeah. When you talk about teams like that, UMass against Kent State, can you name players on those
Yeah,
teams?
UMass's quarterback is Blake Fronapole.
Of course he can. He's a DJ. He knows all these people.
I look at these. I'm in a college fantasy league. I know these guys. You know,
All right.
I
when
can't
you're- when
name a
you're-
Kent State player.
of course you can because you don't care. You watch
definitely
maybe
don't
how
care.
many college games do you watch a weekend?
I mean,
honestly,
this is the truth.
The big
I
ones,
mean,
the
maybe
big
one.
ones.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Chippy
college
has no
football
idea who
fan.
Shane Carden
NFL
is.
guy.
Like, I mean, I'm almost ashamed to say this. I think my son knows more about college football than me. He's 7.5.
Okay, well, it's just.
I mean,
your interest.
I'll watch Notre Dame against Florida State this weekend.
Hmm?
I'll watch the big
We'll be
games. I mean,
talking about-
one. I probably watch more than one.
We'll talk a lot about
Just
that.
average,
game.
but I'm casual.
Eric, do you want to hear a clip?
Yeah, I do. I want to hear a clip. Big Fat
Now,
Winners
you
Radio.
want to be careful here. Syracuse looked bad at East Rutherford.
You're kidding.
Say it again.
East Rutherford.
No, say it again. We'll edit it.
East Rutherford.
No, say it. Hold on, start it again.
This did not make the final cut. There's no way.
You're not being serious.
This
are
is an
you?
outtake, right?
Yeah, this is an outtake.
Okay.
Hold on. Start it over. Start over. Start the whole thing over.
How you want to be careful here. Syracuse looked bad at East Rutherford.
Say it again.
East Rutherford.
No, say it again. We'll edit it.
East Rutherford.
No, say it again. Say Syracuse.
Syr-
Syracuse look. All right,
Did you ever get it? Did
that
you ever
happens
get it?
4 or 5 times during the podcast.
4 or 5 times for
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Wow,
Probably.
that is comedy gold.
East Rutherford. Why would you just abandon it?
He gets.
Just say New Jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
right.
in Jersey.
Here's
Just
the-
say, MetLife.
Here's
They're
the
playing
thing about
MetLife Stadium,
Valdez.
you big dog.
Here's the thing about Valdez.
Yeah.
He speaks too fast, and he wants to get the information out. And he
Yeah.
speaks
He's so
too
excited.
fast, and he's so excited
he's
that he just
giddy.
stumbles all over himself
But he's
and
also
falls
nervous.
on his face.
He's nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
No,
Because
I'm
you
not
don't,
nervous.
you don't
You're not
stumble
nervous
like
now.
that when
You're
you
not nervous
talk.
now.
Like
You gotta
after the
try to
show and
lose that accent.
shoving yogurt in your face. You don't talk that way.
You got to speak clearly.
Right. Listen to John Gruden,
Yeah,
man.
listen to me. Life lessons from Gruden.
Anyway,
From Grudog.
It's
One
unbelievable.
more time.
Yeah.
How you want to be careful here. Syracuse looked bad at East Rutherford.
say it again.
East Rutherford.
No, say it again. We'll edit it.
East Rutherford.
No, say it again. Say Syracuse.
Syr-
Syracuse look.
This is Matt Valdez. Glasses. I was a good candidate.
Did you have a part where you guys actually sound good? I want to hear a
Yeah,
part.
the entire podcast that you can download on iTunes. Big Fat Winners.
We can't hear the open.
Well, the open changes every week. Like, do you want to hear the
Last
sweeper?
week's open.
Yeah, I'm
right,
going to hear
hang
a
on.
little bit of it. I just want to get because am I going to download your stupid podcast?
You don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully.
if I was a gambler, I would. Not really a gambler. I try to find one winner. I go by Tingle. I
Most
try to
people
find
do.
one Tingle.
Most people do.
Yeah.
It's your money. You paid for it.
That's your open?
No, that's Kate.
That's your
No,
boy
no, no, no.
W.
Oh.
You do the entire open because I actually haven't heard the open.
You haven't even heard the
He
open?
put together an open. I haven't heard it yet.
Hold
Have
on.
you actually listened to the podcast?
A little bit of it, yeah. But I mean, I do the podcast, so I know what it sounds
No,
like.
but
I'm
you
saying
want to
know
know,
that,
but
but
you
I
want to
just-
hear the finished product, particularly when he's botching it left and right. You want to make sure it's cleaned up
Well,
and
I
tight.
assume, I trust that he's
You
going
want
to
to
take
make sure
that out.
you want to make sure his nonsense is gone from the podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were capable of being able to actually figure out how to listen to a podcast.
I could figure that one out.
You can?
Yeah. Hold on, listen. Here's the intro.
Big Fat Winners Radio.
I want people that want to win.
I like to gamble, and I'm not going to quit.
That feeling is awesome.
You know, do I have a gambling problem? Yeah, I do have a gambling problem, and I'm not going to quit.
Now here they are. Lurch Papa, Jason Bishop,
I like
and
it.
Matt Valdez.
That's some
And then,
quality
yeah.
production right there.
Nice.
I
Hold on, I
wanted,
wanna
I
hear
wanted
the
you
intro.
to add a couple of other elements to it.
Like,
You never got to that?
oh, you're not happy with it.
You got to talk to Peck.
Well, no, like from the Two for the Money movie, there was a couple
No,
clips I
yeah,
wanted to
I-
use there.
We play a movie clip that involves gambling before each show. So it's
Where?
like in the beginning. Like
All right.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Gambling gods, fickle bunch. Oh
Yeah.
So easily.
so yeah, we
So
come
you
in
do
with like
that,
a movie
and then
intro.
you do the
yeah,
Peck
exactly.
part.
And then we have a song intro,
All right.
and then
It's a big
All
production.
right,
It's
I'm
like
so-
it's
I'm
like
so
a huge
excited.
production.
Yeah,
It's like a
it's like a
Kiss
real-
concert over there.
it's like a real show.
And then Jason leads off, correct?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, do you want him to lead off? I mean, we could do that. It doesn't matter.
Hey, do you guys want to know what Dual Threat got for the first month while we were on the air?
What?
The name of the show wrong in our introduction.
Oh, really?
By Brian Peck.
What do you
All we,
call
had
it?
was, all we had was a sweeper, and it says, "You're listening to the Dual Threat." That was it.
What are you gonna do? Well, you didn't put you're not as passionate about it.
Oh, we're passionate.
You are?
Of course, yeah.
He has a radio spot. When is it? Saturday mornings, 8 a.m.?
Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. On Operation Sports, gets 50,000 downloads a week.
Are you doing it?
He's competitive.
Big time.
Pull the numbers.
Yeah. Well, you should try to.
Hey,
you should try to get it
we're
on
in
the
the
same
infancy
site.
stage of our podcast.
Have you tried to distribute it wider?
Well, CBS distributes it. So,
Right.
It's a pretty big
So-
platform.
So I'm not,
EB,
so
they
I'm
got
not
some
sure if
big
they-
things in the works, according to
They're
Lurch.
doing it big.
But see, here's the thing, Drab. Don't you do that live
We do it live, yeah.
on Saturday morning?
Yep.
All right. The chances of me coming in here on Saturday morning to do it live are 0.
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
All right. It's just not ever going to happen. So you
could
can
probably
have
get
that.
You could probably get the 6 a.m. spot.
You can have that time slot.
It ain't happening.
You want that lead
I understand that people who haven't really achieved anything in life will come and do that. But see, I'm already there, so I can sleep in and watch College Game Day live.
A lot of competition amongst the producers of the podcast.
Don't get bitter. Don't get bitter. Be
All
better.
right, we tracked down Joe Rogan. He's going to join us next on The Fan, comedian Joe Rogan.
1067. The Fan.